recording going here. We are now recording this lovely show, and we're going to have it on YouTube for those of you who can't watch it live. So, Ed, I think you know what to do. It's the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. Guys, welcome. We did it. We made it through another week of the pandemic. It's kind of winding down, but still, we're here. We're here having a good time. We're taking advantage of the Zoom. Bring you comedians from all over North America. And we're happy, they're happy. It's happy hour. We're going to have a good time. We're going to interview them. We're going to find out about our comedy. We're going to play some of the comedy. We got sketches. We're going to do some improv. We're going to do live comedy. We're going to do everything. You know, so this is a complete comedy show. And we're going to have a good time. So we hope that you enjoy this. We are taking comments live throughout the show. I see we have some people watching. If you want to make a comment about any of the jokes, add a joke. We have a quiz at the end if you want to participate in that. So this is an interactive show, kind of like the old days of call-in radio. Instead of calling in, you make a comment on Facebook. So you could use emojis, which is nice. You couldn't do that with radio. So now we always start the show off with a little bit of news from the world, as you can see from my handy dandy background here. So let's get us started with a little bit of news from the world. Well, at least my take on the news of the world. And we're going to start with that right now. And guest comedians and our regulars, as you know, feel free to make a comment after the jokes if you want to add something. It's a collaborative thing, man. It's not just my news. It's all of us, for all of us. All right, well, so during a recent interview on the Metal from the Inside podcast, rocker Alice Cooper revealed that he has 3 promises he makes to every musician that joins his group. He says to them, you're going to get paid, you're going to get to see the world, and you'll always have an insurer in the green room. But it's Alice Cooper. He's like 80-something years old. So he's got to have his insurer. There he goes.
He should also ensure they get the summers off, schools off. Yeah,
that's great. There's insurers has 2 meanings. I didn't know that. I thought it was just a drink. Guys, Queen's Brian May. More music news. Brian May was interviewed recently about his health problems, and he admitted that unfortunately he's been stricken with some things that were not so good. His illnesses include he's had heart disease, he's had liver disease, and the worst disease of all is he has a PFWS, which stands for Permanent French Wig Syndrome. I don't know if you ever met.
I was going to say, he looks like he has a case of the frizzies.
Frizzes that never died down and stayed with him his whole life.
Or the frizzies.
As the French say, the frizzies. Yes.
He is an astrophysicist. Don't forget.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, he has a doctorate in it.
So he's a smart person with a permanent French wig.
Yeah.
Okay. Reader's Digest ran an article recently advising that it's not hard to beat a speeding ticket, apparently. All you have to do is apologize to the officer and say 3 simple words. Blue lives matter. And if you're white, you just wink a little bit. Blue lives matter.
I'm not here to give legal advice, but I would say do not apologize, because then you have admitted guilt. So don't do that. Yeah.
I thought the 3 words were "oops, my chest." You know.
I think the real question is, you look over and say, "Is that recording?" And then you're good. Yeah.
TikToker, this TikToker here on the left, Kate Harrelson, was kicked off the elite dating app Raya for calling out Matthew Perry over here for matching with him in spite of their 30-year age difference. Now, this story raises so many questions, like, how is this legal? Why is Matthew Perry on Raya, this dating app? But more importantly, who's Kate Harrelson? Does anyone?
I know I matched with her, so I was pretty excited.
All I have to say is, after all it's said and done, I hope they can stay friends. All right, I know that was a bit. I had to throw that.
That was great.
Last story of the night: Kentucky Derby winner. Let me get out of my way of my own headline here. Medina Spirit has been cleared to run in the upcoming Preakness Stakes, despite the fact that he failed a drug test. Now, this is good news for the horse, obviously, but he did have to make one major concession. He had to agree to become an ambassador for the FDA and change his name to Moderna Spirit. Moderna Spirit. And he can now run in the Preakness, and that is the news of the week for me. And thank you for those people who are watching live and commenting as well. We do appreciate that. My friend AJ writes, "Happy Friday, guys." Michael Adams gives a thumbs up. So we've got lots of people watching and having a good time with us. And without further ado, I think it's time to bring up our first comedian of the night. Guys, welcome to the show. Jamie Black. Let me replace the spotlight or add myself to the spotlight.
Woo!
I'm spotlighted, y'all. I'm spotlighted.
Spotlighted. Woo! Wow. Well,
It's like I'm in the wrong neighborhood. Police are driving through.
Well, welcome to the show, Jamie. Good to see you. Now, I remember how I met you, which was we were on a Zoom together, and you had a good set, or that stayed in my mind, and also you joined the show. So I thought, okay, let's find out a little bit more about Jamie. So, Jamie, why don't you tell us about your story? I know you're from Chicago, but I don't know more than that. So tell us about your comedy career and how you got into comedy, especially.
I am from Chicago. I've been doing comedy for, I don't know, somewhat over 20 years, something like that. I should have been doing it a lot longer, but I don't know. I can't even explain it. I don't even know why I didn't get in sooner. But I guess the first time I really wanted to do comedy was I'm really going to date myself here, but I'm going to say it anyway. The Carol Burnett Show.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a dope show.
Hilarious. The show is hilarious. I still watch it. It's hilarious.
I love that show too.
Yeah, so that's how I got into.
So that motivated.
That's how I wanted to.
So wait a second, 20 years. So that's one of the longest comedy careers of people we've had on the show. I mean, tell us a little bit about, like, you said you've been kind of, it's a long career, but can you give us some of the highlights of some of the things that you've seen, especially in the Chicago scene over the years? Or the highlights?
Highlights of my comedy career. Well, I've never died on stage.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yes. Well, I mean, that goes without saying, I think. I would. Well, I mean, I don't know what my highlight is. I mean, I studied improv at the Players Workshop, and I studied comedy writing at Second City. I guess maybe my solo show that's critically acclaimed and award winning. Maybe that's the highlight. Sure, it's called "It's My Penis," and it is about gender norms and gender expectations and how we aren't really allowed to integrate our masculine and feminine characteristics.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, by the way,
did I talk too fast? Did all that make sense to you?
That makes sense. I would like to maybe we could.
Okay. I'm sorry. You what? What are you going to do to me?
We're going to promote. I was going to say the name of that show that you mentioned. Maybe we could put that in our show notes if you wanted to send that in to us. We could. Now, someone watching the show, Jerry Rigdon, writes, "The Carol Burnett Show rocked." Jerry Rigdon, he must be a friend of yours because he says, "Go, Jamie. The Carol Burnett Show rocked."
He is a friend. He's a friend of mine from high school. We just went on vacation together too.
Now you also do improv, you do stand-up, but you also do sketch comedy, if I'm not mistaken, because you did send us a very funny sketch clip. I
do. Well, I'm glad you found it funny.
You're both
this was during the pandemic.
Writer and producer and actor of this in this sketch. Let's play a little bit of Jamie Black's sketch comedy, you guys. If you would, if I can figure out how to bring this up here. So give us a little background on The Essentials. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, again, it was the pandemic. I was stuck at home. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I mean, I wrote a song parody during that time to Can You Feel the Love Tonight, called Can I Go Outside Today? You know, what else was I gonna do?
All right. Well, here is Jamie.
But write a sketch.
Here's his sketch, The Essentials. Let's play that clip for. Wait, actually, you know what? I always forget to do this. I have to make sure that I share my sound.
Share the audio, yeah.
That would be important, right? All right, now we can play it.
What you want? Where my rent at? I ain't got it. What you mean you ain't got my rent? Man, I can't pay no rent right now. We're in a pandemic. But you bought alcohol. Damn right. And weed. But you can't pay my rent? Man, only the essentials. Essentials? I ain't paid no rent, but I still live here, right? Yeah. But I can't get drunk and high if I ain't got no alcohol. So it's essential that I have money to buy alcohol and weed. Look here. You better give me my money or I'm gonna... Bye.
Oh man.
Good job, man. Give it up for Jamie for that.
I'm so stupid.
That was
Shit.
That sketch was great on a couple levels. First of all, great wardrobes, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know how
you like.
I love how you said.
I love.
Yeah, the landlord, of course, has to have a cigar.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. All landlords have to have a cigar.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
And
they take it with them when they collect the rent.
Yep.
Well, then
Because you might have somebody.
I love how the tenant, he's got the Darth Vader shirt.
Yeah.
Eric, this kind of I don't know what something about that, but Eric, does this happen to you? I mean, because you wear a lot of Star Wars shirts. Does you?
I thought you were gonna say, does the landlord come to my door for the rent? Because no, I pay electronically.
Okay. All right.
I'll be like, what are you doing here, bro? I don't even know who you are. You're asking for money. What were you asking me right now? My bad.
I don't know. I
thought
I can't remember when the show went off the rails.
I swear we're usually more professional. I swear to God, we're usually not this happy.
Oh man!
But you know what? The way you played the landlord, it reminded me of the landlord in Coming to America. That dude, I forget that actor's name. He's funny. He's great.
Frankie Faison.
Oh, dude, yeah. I was like, oh, I can see that. So that was good stuff. Do you?
Well, thank you.
Do you do all the writing for your sketches too, or do you have like a film crew help you? How do you put them together?
Oh no, I did that all myself. That was during the pandemic. I was home alone. There was nobody helping me. There was nobody doing the camera but me. It was all me.
Oh wow, dude, good job, man. Yeah.
Oh well, thank you. I like doing stuff like that. I should do it more often. I don't know why I don't.
So Jamie, wanted to ask you one of the important thing, which is we always like to ask the comedians that come on the show if they have anything they want to promote. Is there any shows you got coming up, or any new sketches, or anything coming down the road that you want us to promote?
I will say that I am going to be appearing on the second season of Work in Progress on Showtime.
Oh shit, nice.
Whoa! Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Can I ask,
gotta go.
what is the premise of that? What's the premise of that show? It's like a reality competition show, or?
No. It's a well, what do you call it? A dramedy? I mean, it's comedy, but there's drama. It's about a queer woman and her relationships and the fact that she's OCD and I think manic depressive as well, and I think OCD. I don't know if she's manic depressive. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose it. But
I gotta get.
But yeah, so, you got to what?
I gotta get Showtime. That's why I was.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but I'll check it out though for sure.
I will check it out.
Yeah, check it out. It's a really good show.
All right. Well, we'll make that's an incredible. We'll promote that, and also, what was the name of the show that you mentioned earlier? The one that you produced that was award winning. Maybe we can also find that and put that on the. What was the name of that again?
It's My Penis, and I'll cry if I want to.
All right, we'll look for that as well. All right, guys. So, Jamie, I'd love for you to stick around. We have a quiz show at the end, and you're going to be an important part of that. So, guys, give it up for Jamie Black for coming on the show.
Okay.
Woo! Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Jamie
Appreciate it.
He has also experience with improv, and actually that's a good segue to our next segment here, where we do a little bit of improv. All right, so let's bring up our improvers. Ed Ruben is our sort of lead improver here. Let's add Ed here, and I'm going to remove myself. Now, Dawn and Mudit, we do improv here. We do questions only. It's a little exercise where we give us a word or a location or a relationship, and then the improvers ask each other questions until someone fails to ask a question, and then that person's out. Jamie said he wanted to do it. Ed wants to do it. Eric, are you on tonight?
Sure, I'll jump in.
All right, jumping in. Mudit and Dawn, do you want to play the game?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we got plenty of people here to do it. Since there's a lot of you, then Ed, maybe we should go with you say the person's name before you ask the question.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good.
Let's do that.
All right, so
go to our word generator here.
All right.
I can, okay. So,
because that is one of the essentials. All right.
The essentials. So we go with a location, a relationship, or a word.
All right, Jamie, what would you like to choose?
Did you explain how the game works already?
Oh, all right. So the game works.
Yeah.
I think that Tommy sort of did it. It's basically everything you say has to be in the form of a question, and when you don't ask it in the form of a question, that round is over. And we usually do like 2 or 3 rounds, depending on how long we can go.
Yep.
All right, so Jamie, which one? Location?
Yeah, let's do location.
All right.
Computer lab. You're at a
computer lab.
Hey, Jamie, you got my rent?
Eric, what rent are you talking about?
Ed, is this guy for real?
How did this guy even get in the computer lab?
Are you asking me? Like, seriously?
Yeah, I guess I should have asked you. Yes.
That's not a question.
All right. I lost.
I don't know if mine was technically a question either. I always forget to stop after the question mark sound.
I always forget to say the person's name in front.
All right.
But at least we don't look amateurish.
Okay, let's try a relationship and see what we get. What? A torturer and a jester. Why don't we pick 2 people to do that? Torturer and jester. How about we so Dawn and Mudit haven't gone yet. You guys understand how it's working. Mudit and Dawn, one of you is torturer and one of you is jester. Take it away.
You call that funny, Mudit?
Hey, Dawn, does my comedy count as torture?
Mudit, does your comedy count as funny?
Dawn, what even is a jester?
What is is always the eternal question, is it not?
Dawn, how would you even define a question?
All right.
I think we should ask my cat of nine tails, don't you?
That was one of the best saves I've ever heard on this game.
Very
Right?
It's rare that we see a meta save, but that was impressive.
It was good.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, let's go. Finally, let's do just a regular old word, and that is prism. How about Eric and Dawn? And you don't have to say each other's names. It's just Eric and Dawn, and the word is prism.
What do you think these colors coming out of the prism are?
I mean, you think I see color?
Don't you see color?
Isn't this black and white?
Do you think it's black and white?
I wonder if it's black or white.
Not a question.
Oh,
Not a question. You guys give it up for the improvers.
There's somebody
Great
that thinks
job.
that Pink
Great
Floyd
job.
album is boring.
Traffic lights are challenging.
yeah.
You know what time it is, you guys, and I don't mean the actual time. It is time when we give thanks to our sponsors. Eric, if you're ready to do that now, we can go ahead and do some sponsors real quick. You want to go ahead with that?
Oh, sure. Heck yeah, dude. Let me get this one thing set up. And then this. Yeah, I'm definitely ready to go, man. I didn't know I was going to be on this soon, but hey, but that's why I'm a professional. Oh, so just go now?
I mixed up the order here. I just realized I was supposed to do another interview, but you know, you're up here already spotlighted, so let's go do the sponsors.
Let's go through with the sponsors.
We rolled with the punches.
Yeah.
Well, what's up, everybody? It's another Friday evening, and it's the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour, and I'm Eric Newton. I'm here to bring you this week's sponsors for the show. And this week we have the incredible large Nike. Okay, huge legacy of a company. Everybody knows Nike is a huge company. Yeah, everybody also knows because of their dominance in the market, they've become the #1 employer of children aged 6 and under. Everybody knows that's just a fact. Right? But they're a legacy, right? That's how legacies work. We're not here to debate that. We're here to ask why. Like, why is Nike so huge? I mean, it's everybody from casual shoe collectors to professional street gangs. Everyone loves Nikes. Oh man, I'm in the way of the street gang. I'm probably gonna get jumped in now. But anyway, oh man, sorry. So anyway, I'm here to tell you why. I know why Nikes are actually superior in the market. They gave me a few pairs to mess around with, and I ran some tests. And I come to find out Nikes have a superior balance from the left shoe to the right shoe when they're hanging from telephone wires. I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, that's a huge marketing point that we got to recognize. And so that's it for this week's sponsors for the Tommy Feldman Show. Happy to see you guys next week.
All right, give it up for sponsors. It was thinking on his feet. I was supposed to bring him up a little bit later, but I just went ahead and brought him up now. So, and that's just the way that the cookie crumbles, I guess. You just do what you got to do. And here comes Dawn. We're gonna bring up Dawn. Woo! Dawn, help me pronounce your last name.
Oh, Xanklin like xylophone.
Xanklin like.
Or Xanax.
Well, guys, give it up for Dawn Xanklin for coming on the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. Now, Dawn has an interesting way that she found out about our show, which was kind of accidentally. She sort of joined. Well, you didn't join the show accidentally, but you wanted to post to the show, and then you said right away that when you posted, you're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," like I didn't mean to, and you were so
Canadian.
In your okay, this person is going to be fun to have on the show. So. But I really don't know much other than I know you're from Ottawa, but maybe you could tell us a little bit about your comedy background and especially what got you into comedy.
Oh yeah. Speaking of accidents, my getting into comedy was like an accidental curveball. I was part of Toastmasters, the public speaking group, and all of my speeches were always accidentally funny. So I wanted to take like a workshop when it came up. A professional comic in my area was teaching workshops. She wanted to try to get more women into comedy, and she had 4 spots. And I'm, working and getting home burnt out and going, oh, you know what? I could take this. I could be like deliberately funny on purpose. And she like spots kept filling up. And then there was this one last spot, and I was like, what the hell? I'll take it. And the workshop came with 5 minutes at a comedy club called Yuck Yucks up here. And I was just like, you know what? I just want to know how to write the jokes. Don't think I want to be on a stage in front of people. I'm not a drama person. But then, as the days kept coming, people at work who knew I was taking this workshop said, you must be really nervous. You must be like kind of scared. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't have anything to compare it to. Yep. And I kept it. And then I went up and I had rehearsed and worked through my jokes. And I didn't want to get off the stage. I had 7 minutes and I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. So it was such a rush. I had to work early the next morning, couldn't get to sleep until 3 a.m. because I was so jazzed. Like it felt like I had a triple espresso or something. And so 4 years later, I'm still doing it. And I'm still kind of stunned. I'm just like this. I've always liked watching comedy. Never thought I'd be on the other side holding the microphone and, just wasn't in the career plan.
Now you also adapted yourself to Zoom comedy, because I think I've seen you've done some Zoom comedy, and then also I thought I saw something on your profile about storytelling.
Oh yeah.
What's going on with that? Are you involved with that as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. Some of my favorite comedians are actors and storytellers. They have a great storytelling style, and storytelling is something I used to go watch. Like I'm 47, and like when I was 20 in university, I used to go, pay $2, sit, listen to like this local storytelling group. Deliver stories, right? And it was just such a rush, because it has a lot in common with stand-up, because you've got the audience right there. You've got sort of like a dynamic between the person in front of the microphone telling the story and the audience, and they're just playing to the reactions and stuff. So there's something really organic about it. So when I had the chance to join the storytelling group in Ottawa called Ottawa Storytellers, I jumped at it. So I started, I volunteered to host their storytelling show called Untold. And it's once a month. It's based on a theme. It's, people pitch. You don't have to be a professional storyteller to do it. And when the pandemic hit, we moved to Zoom. And it was a bit of a learning experience, but I love it. I really enjoy like the intersection of it. And so my big comedy goal is to combine the two, because I love them both, but I want to be able to emulate that style I admire.
I was going to ask you about that, because with stories, sometimes, they don't have to be funny. I mean, that's the nature of the story, but like, I think the really good ones, the ones that resonate, have humor sprinkled in. So that's great. I think that curious to know how you develop with that, and maybe you can continue to share content with us. And in fact, you sent us a clip of some of your stand-up from, I believe, Yuck Yucks, right?
Yeah, I think one was Yuck Yucks, and the other one was another comedy club called Absolute.
I like those clips, so let's go ahead and play them. So let's play this. Yeah, they're both at Yuck Yucks. This is the comedy competition. This is actually a comedy.
Yeah, I did this in 2019.
All right, so here's Dawn Xanklin at Yuck Yucks comedy competition. Let's play this clip over here.
Me, I'm married and I'm a mom, and I live in the suburbs. Yeah. Basically, that tells you that I go to Tupperware parties. I tell people things like, get off my lawn. I don't know what the fuck oysters taste like. Are they sauce? So I had a bit of a crappy day, because my kid but he went to a salon and they told him that they don't cut black hair. So he went home and he put some blue shit in his hair and went back. It was fine. Just fine. It worked out really well.
Now okay, about that oysters. Did you say oysters?
Yeah, someone in the audience, there was a group of single people. It's just sitting in the audience, and they were talking about all of the great single things that they do. They go enjoy oysters, and a lot of people know that oysters are supposed to be an aphrodisiac. Right. Yeah. And so I went up there and I completely changed the first two jokes I was going to say just to work in the oysters, because we weren't supposed to do any crowd work in this. Okay. And I just couldn't help it because they were just so funny and I made up the joke. I made it into a joke. It actually happened that day that my son couldn't get his hair cut at some place. He just needed a buzz cut, and this place said no, gave him a hard time. And so I made that into a joke on the spot. I was just kind of like changing my set on the fly. It was kind of one of my favorites.
How did you do at that competition?
I think I came close this year. I think this is probably the second or third time. I didn't advance, but I think I got close. I think if the other guy didn't get it, it might have been me that year.
Well, as soon as they have, I'm sure you'll be back out there. You did send another clip. Is this also from Absolute?
Yeah, this is from Absolute Comedy, and this was part of a two-city, my first back-to-back one city and then Ottawa as part of the Underground Railroad comedy tour. Okay. Yeah, and there were a great group of professional comics who, for some reason, invited me back 3 years in a row because they like my stuff. And this is me in Ottawa.
All right, let's play this clip. This is a singular joke, but I think it's quite original. Let's put it that way, original.
Yeah, but I'm worried. I'm a little worried because someone told me they figured out how to guess that I'm 46. A guy told me that what you do is you lean in really close and you count the rings. That was one smart gynecologist. Yeah, but I'm worried.
Yeah. The ring, count the ring. Oh my. I was not expecting when you sent me that clip, and then right after that, you sent me that clip and you said, I could send clean comedy if you want.
Yeah, I just kind of realized that a lot of the friends I'm making online are they either are clean comics or they're not, and I can actually do both despite the clips that I sent. And I thought, I should have asked.
Well, that joke. I mean, strictly speaking, it's not clean comedy. It's just So I mean, if a child hears that, they're just not going to understand it.
Oh yeah, but I wouldn't tell that joke to my dad.
Yeah. I'm always like I don't think I'm like filthy, but I always want to do a set where I could like you can listen to all this whole set, Mom, but it's never been possible for me. There's jokes that she just can't hear about yet.
Some people have that as the definition of clean comedy, right? Like if you would play that if you tell your grandparent or your parent that, then that's clean.
Yeah.
But it depends on who your parents are.
That's true.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Ed Ruben's mom is on the show watching. Hi, Mrs. Ruben.
Hi, Mom.
I'm sorry about that joke.
Sorry about that joke.
Hi, Nash. This pandemic, she's heard worse.
Yeah. Ed can get into some very vague, questionable territory sometimes. Dawn, before you go here, did you have anything you wanted to promote on the show?
Oh, sure. I have my very first webpage up, and it actually has an event calendar, and people can follow all of the things that happen, including Zoom shows. It's www.dawnxanklincomedy.com, and Xanklin is spelled Xan like Norman, K. LIN.com.
Right,
So it's all one word.
I'll put that right into our page. And
Oh, awesome.
so everyone can see it. Guys, give it up for Dawn Xanklin for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, and don't go anywhere. You're part of the quiz, so
Cool.
that's really important. And let's see. I know Niko is going to be coming on, and I didn't want to mess up the order, but you know what? Let's just go right to our next interview. Mudit Verma is here, you guys. Let's spotlight him. Guys, welcome Mudit Verma to the show.
Thank you.
So we're going all around the United States and North America here. Mudit is from Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Seen a lot of action as of late, all kinds of action. I think you actually referred to that in one of your clips. But Mudit, I don't remember which Zoom show I saw you on. Maybe it was Joe Gorman's Cool Mike. I think maybe I saw you there one time.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't. At this point, it's like we're all doing the same shows at some point. So, but I have seen you a lot on Displaced Comedians. I know you're active there, and I think that's kind of what sometimes I look at to see who's doing what. So I thought it'd be great to have you on the show. So thanks for coming. But other than that, I don't know much about you. So why don't you tell us more about your comedy background, especially what got you into comedy?
Yeah, totally. So before I go into what got me into comedy, you mentioned Joe Gorman's mic. So I'm actually crashing at my friend's place in New York City, and I have been for the past almost month now. The time's flying by. And I met Joe Gorman for the first time in real life, and it was so cool meeting a Zoom, someone you first met on Zoom, like in real life. And and I think that's like this pandemic has really had a silver lining with bringing the comedy community together. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. As for what got me into comedy, I started about 7 months before the pandemic hit. This is the summer of 2019, and essentially one of my friends in one of my friends' circles in college was like secretly doing stand-up. I guess secret compared like with respect to our friend group. He did it for about 8 or 9 months. I got really good, and then essentially surprised us as like a friend circle. Maybe he had a bringer show, I don't know, or he got to a point where he was like hosting his own shows and hosting his own mics. And basically, this group of like mutual friends sort of endorsed me to give it a shot since I was a bit more animated or outspoken. So it took me about 1.5 years worth of like persistence and like maybe like dares and things. And that summer of 2019, I was in between jobs, so like I couldn't make an excuse like, oh, I've got work tomorrow, or if I bomb, then like I don't know if I'll like be able to focus and things. But because my friend that I alluded to, his name's Camilo Diaz, because he was already at a level where he was hosting his own shows and mics, he was able to like my first open mic was at his spot in a nearby suburb. So he was able to really pave the way for me. And ever since then, I got to a point where I was doing like at least 1, maybe 2 mics per night when the pandemic hit. And then I took the same work ethic to Zoom, and now comedy's kind of coming back here in New York, and I'm sure back home in DC. I'll be back home come Memorial Day weekend. So yeah.
Now I took a look at your Facebook page, and you've got a lot going on there. One thing that did kind of attract my attention was you talk about mental health as well. So it seems like you're not just doing comedy, but you're also kind of an advocate for mental health. And so one of the things I wanted to ask you about is because comedy and mental health are a bit connected for some people. Like for some people it's a therapy, for some people it's a way to sort of exercise or get out some of their thoughts. So it can be very helpful. But maybe you could tell us a little bit about your experiences and how that bridges with comedy.
Yeah, totally. It's a relationship that still fascinates me because one is I think the topic of mental health is the most challenging for me to write bits or even like short jokes about, because it is so different from one person to the next, and we all have like mental health. We all have like that as a part of our overall health. But what that consists of will always vary from one person to the next. but I think the experiences I talk about, I would characterize my comedy as something that's very centered on my upbringing as a Indian Hindu, some of the experiences and differences that came with that, like being a vegetarian and kind of how that might limit maybe things at like networking events or traveling. And those things affect my mental health, even though I don't actually use the phrase like mental health in my stand-up. I do, on the other hand, like for my advocacy work and advocacy writing, like not only do I use the phrase, but I'm looking at research, I'm looking at different therapies. I went to pharmacy school, so I talk about like medications and side effects and my own personal experiences with like trial and error of trying this medication, but then I had this side effect and this medication didn't work, and then I tried this type of therapy. So navigating, there's a lot of trial and error in finding the right mental health like therapy and professionals, and I think there's a lot of also trial and error in making jokes work and making good solid bits. So I think my future goal is to see if I can incorporate like nuance into like I very rarely like mention even the phrase or the topic head on, like mental health in my stand-up, but I want to see if I can get there one day, since I'm pretty new. And yeah,
you did send in a clip, and I'm not sure if you alluded to that in the clip, but let's play a clip of your comedy so we can kind of get a sense of what your style is like. So here's, now this one, this is a compilation, right? So you got several venues on here. You've got comedy, you've got Zoom comedy.
Yeah, so this, I don't know why I formatted it the way I did, but the first clip is at one venue, and that first clip is like very short, it's a few seconds. And then the second clip is like about 2 minutes. And the first clip was at a nearby mic. The second clip was in my basement on a Zoom show. They're very different, but both of these highlights took place in the summer of 2020, where it was this odd mixture where comedy made like this diluted kind of comeback in the DC area. We had to like mask up and things, and the weather was great outside, but we were still, I wouldn't say we were like on lockdown, but it was this weird dystopian hybrids. And I think this video kind of it resembles that.
All right, well, let's play it. Let's play your clip. Guys, this is Mudit Verma in the DC area and on Zoom.
Ooh, Mudit.
I did a stadium show the other day. And what I mean is I was doing a Zoom show while playing Pokemon Stadium. I mean, everything's going virtual online anyway, so I'm ahead of the game. Yeah. Now I party as well. I wasn't in a fraternity, but I certainly got hazed by them, even though I never rushed. Now, I'm still familiar with the science and art of turning up. I do know the. I had my first alcoholic drink the night before my 21st birthday, so that's pretty rebellious if I do say so myself. And one day I shall work my way up the cannabis. Maybe then I can join a fraternity, but I was thinking like I would have the most groundbreaking revelation if I became what folks call high, because as some people say, it's like some believe that the third eye, these are eyes, the third eye is up here, okay? But that's false, that's incorrect. The third eye is down here. The third eye is down here. It's my mouth, because I'm hungry from the munchies, okay? That's the third eye. And my mustache, that's the third eyebrow. Now, I'm not sure. Medical school is very tough. It's harsh. well, you've got to be professional, you know. And I didn't go to medical school. I went to pharmacy school because my grades were, you know, not so hot. But my friends applying to med school, they take gap years. You know, they take 1 gap year, 2 gap year, 3 gap years. Like some of them, it's like, damn, they took so many gap years, they accidentally lived their best life.
You had someone in that audience, which
yeah,
maybe they were high because that
Zoom, man, they probably were.
Laughter was like they were just beside themselves. So
yeah,
very good stuff, Mudit. That was like yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was like a little bit of like a modern Urkel. You were doing like the glasses, you know, or like and then the way you were talking was kind of like what's his name? Goldblum, the actor. You kind of
Jeff
like
Goldblum?
you know, very scientific, academic, but that was excellent.
thank you. Yeah,
I like that Pokemon Stadium joke.
That was great.
I've been missing Zoom shows because I play so much Pokemon Snap. It just came out a couple weeks ago.
yeah, yeah.
It's been fun seeing you on Zooms, man. It's been
Yeah,
been great to see you.
definitely.
Now, Moody, you're in the DC area, so I mean, we haven't really had that many DC comics on, but I know you guys have your own scene there. But are you doing in person more without a mask, and are you going to clubs? If so, what kind of, you know, what are you doing right now?
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, the last few weeks I've been crashing at, you know, here at my friend's place in New York, and I've been hitting the mics here, and they've been pretty plentiful and very plentiful. But I do keep track of what's popping up back home. I don't think that mics have really, like, open mics have come back in the heart of DC just yet. I would say the surrounding suburbs. So like home for me is just outside of DC in a Maryland suburb, and mics have come back in and around Baltimore. So I'm not too far from Baltimore either. And same goes for, I'm not too far from Northern Virginia, so which is like kind of just below DC. So those mics have come back. There's some shows here and there. I just saw a post of a weekly mic in DC that'll start next Thursday. So it's coming back. I would say it's coming back. Yeah.
Now we always like to give people a chance to promote whatever they've got coming up or other sort of new comedy. What's on your plate for the next few months? Anything that you want to tell people about?
Yeah, I would say the first thing tomorrow night, so Saturday night, around it's my pinned post on my Facebook profile. I'm doing a video game themed Zoom show, Zoom stand-up show, run by Andy Wong, who's I believe in Canada. And so I'm doing that Zoom show tomorrow. The flyer is pinned on my Facebook. And the other thing I would plug is my social media handle is I like to Mudit with the numeral 2. And
That's tight, man.
yeah, so I'm really trying to grow my TikTok, for example. But that's my handle for all my socials, and I upload clips from my mics and shows and some like original kind of sketch thing. So yeah.
Hey, Mudit, don't you have a video podcast thing or something like that? I heard like something. Weren't you doing something like that?
Oh yeah, totally. So I do a video podcast show on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Mudit Verma. It's called Furthermore. I'll be able to upload episodes once I come back home, come this Monday, because like Wi-Fi and things. So I've several episodes to come, and that's on my YouTube, which is youtube.com/Mudit Verma.
All right. Well, we'll promote that as well. Guys, give it up for Mudit Verma for coming on the show. And that voice you heard coming from the ether was none other than Niko Lukoff, you guys. He is making a special appearance today here on the show in a very dark room, it looks like. And by the way, congratulations, Niko, on the Flappers regular spot. You're a regular now on Flappers.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know what it means. I don't know if they sent it to like everyone else at the Zooms. I have no idea, but I got an email that was pretty fun. That was like, when you come to town too, like tell us your avails. who knows? I don't know that I'll ever be in Burbank, but maybe I will. But yeah, I got a fun backdrop now. Better setup. So yeah, a little over a year ago, I started this group, Displaced Comedians, on Facebook to try to connect people and also just kind of hook up with like where you can use Zoom mics and stuff. That's where I met Mudit. Done a bunch of Zooms with him. Always fun to see you, dude. That was really cool to hear more of your story too on this show. It's really fun to hear even just kind of more of what some stuff I might not have known. So here's this list that I've been working on for the past, feels like 20 years, like 14 months or so. And we like to highlight one of these every week. I try to change it, pick a different one. There's different stuff. And if you'd click the Saturday tab, and my screen that I'm looking at is really small, wherever you see, okay, there we go. Nice. I'm on there right there. So Jen Perez, awesome comic, wonderful person, really freaking cool. I'm pretty sure she's been on the show at least once. And she's doing this mic on Instagram. And the whole thing in the spreadsheet is you can see days of the week and then times in Pacific, and just how you get on different mics that are online. Most are on Zoom, some on Instagram, different platforms. And she's doing like a Spanish and English thing. So that's pretty cool. And then also mix, like you can like music and poetry and different stuff like that. So if you want to get on there, there's some information, connect with her. She's awesome. And I'm sure it's a great experience. I haven't gotten on that one yet, but I just like looking for like ones that I hadn't talked about before. This is actually a pretty new one. She hit me up about running about a week or so ago. So I'm excited for it. Check it out. So the world's changing. We know that. Zoom mics are shutting down. A bunch are. We know that. People are, oh, maybe we don't, but people are posting about like, hey, I'm not doing mine anymore because a lot of people that are running these mics are going to do live comedy. I sent the email to Flappers and was like, I've been loving hosting. Been hosting Thursday Night Mike since about October. Love doing. I get a lot of joy out of it. But there's a live mic that night of the week in the town that I live in. I never did live mics where I lived. I did when I traveled for work pre-pandemic, and I'm like, I'm just gonna freaking go and just see how far I can take this weird, silly thing we do. And I'm traveling a lot more for work now too. So I was like, hit me up when there's if someone like drops out, if I can hop on a Zoom, I will. But I just can't commit to that. But just now I just hopped over from a show from there. So I'm still doing stuff with them, which is fantastic. I'm happy they're doing all these things. And I got to tell you, that first set, I went to Tacoma Comedy Club. It was the last place I'd ever done a live set at. And I went up, I was like, a friend of mine who I connected with in Zoom, she called me up, like, my friend from out of state, I'm really excited. And I get up on the stage and I ate shit. It was one of the worst experiences I have had. I felt horrible. I killed the energy, all these things. Look, Zoom has helped me build material, did not necessarily help me be a stage performer. I feel like I was a better stage performer prior, but I gotta say, since then, I've done 4 live sets and they've gotten better and better and better and better. And if I hadn't had that experience and that great feedback, this is like hard to talk about because it's the ugly side, right? It's the shit. You go up, and I was in front of comedians that I wanted to make proud. They knew that I was like the Zoom guy, so I was like, I need to do good, and I just did it. But I learned from it. Apparently, like half the time, he couldn't understand what I was saying. Maybe that's why I get lost sometimes on Zoom because you can't understand me. You think I'm talking gibberish, but but then I did some and I never been confident enough to like do live sets at home. And then there's like 5 places. I live in Idaho and Nampa, it's near Boise. So there's about 5 mics a week in my town. And I've been getting up at all of them, meeting, not every night, but like I'm getting up a couple times a week. Got a family. I'm trying not to like go every night. And it's been going better and better. And I learned a lot from that. So the next set was a lot better than since then. My biggest concern was like the mostly all the material I've got now. I got about 25-ish minutes of Zoom time stuff. Zoom isn't the same time as real life, but about that of like work like this typically works. I was worried the material wouldn't translate. I haven't done any of my bits that are like super Zoom focused. My bits about podcast stuff worked, but I haven't like super Zoom focused. But other stuff has worked really well. I was concerned that was going to be what was wrong. Like if you made material on Zoom, it didn't work live. Like, oh my God, what we do for a year.
Right.
But that wasn't the thing. I should have been more thinking about how do you keep being a performer? You got the energy. Zoom's a safe place. You're not, if you start losing track, you just kind of hop back in. It's not that hard to do that. But when you're live and you got your energy pulling this way and that way, and you start screwing up and you got to skip through stuff and lean into like, I just screwed up, and even acknowledge it, and you're connecting. We're just connect. It's like we're making this weird like love song dance thing with these people, and getting chuckles is what we want, and laughter. And I could talk forever about this. I know I've already been going for longer than I probably should have, but I'll be on again hopefully next week to talk some more and more of these interesting experiences.
Thank you for the opportunity. Video of your return to live comedy. I'm sure we'd all love to see it. I know you said you didn't do so hot, but
No, I got some pictures at some places. You won't see video until it's good. Oh, I'm gonna plug something. So I'm gonna take another minute half a minute, maybe. Jeff Shaw is a fantastic, wonderful comedian. I met in Zoom. He's got a dry bar special. He's been a comedian for decades. He's doing a live show in Boise. I met him on Zoom, Flappers Mike, and I'm gonna do a guest set on his show live. Whoa. And I'll have like about 8 or 9 or 10 live reps before that in, and I'm ready to go and have some fun. So if you're in Boise, I'd love to hang out with you. Do that.
Guys, give it up for Niko Lukoff for always coming on the show, giving us the scoop on Zoom comedy, and which is still happening. I mean, maybe not as much, but we're still doing it. So, guys, so this is the time when we have a little fun, just us comedians. And if you're watching live, we do have some people watching still live. Gabriel Nightfall, our Gabriel. He's on the show watching. So Gabriel and anybody else still watching live, you're free to guess in the quiz. Now, what we do here on the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour, it's a unique kind of quiz. We take advantage of the fact that I used to live in Japan, and one of the things that I loved about living over there was the commercials. Very, very funny, innovative commercials, all by themselves hilarious. But what I do here is I try to incorporate that into the show to kind of give you guests and people watching some sort of flavor for some of the unique things about Japan. And we do it as a quiz show. So what I do is I play the commercial for you and I stop it halfway. And then you guest comedians, you're going to get the first guesses. You try to figure out what is it a commercial for. So you can be honest and think what you really think, or you can make it up, or it doesn't really matter. It's just, we're just going to have fun seeing commercials from wacky, crazy Japan commercials. And then after the guests go, we'll hit up the Facebook audience and see if they have some guesses, and then the regulars will chime in. So sounds good? You guys ready? All right, yeah. Thumbs up. Yep. All right, so let's go to the commercial. Let's see if I can find the commercial of the night. First one is going to be, here we go. Let's see here. Okay, here it is. Right after this candy. And here we go. All right.
Man, that escalated quickly.
Let's go back here to that scene. Guys, what do you think this is a commercial for? Let's start with Dawn. What do you think this is a commercial
I was going to say mace or a bear whistle. This is like, has she been kidnapped? Is she being followed? What's happening?
Oh, yeah, she's got the headphones on. And that's all I can tell at this point. Jamie, what do you think this is a commercial for?
Lingerie.
Lingerie.
She's gonna open up her coat and she's gonna be all.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's. Yeah.
They say open the kimono. Like the expression, open the kimono, right?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That very famous Japanese expression.
Okay. Mudit, what do you think this is?
I think this was a commercial for, it was a commercial for a dating app where the first portion is like really bad, and then they're going to do a big reveal of a good dating app.
Okay, so it's a dating app. Well, yeah, you're getting warmer because it is definitely for the phone. It's definitely a kind of app. That's all I'll say. Gabriel Nightfall writes, a plane ticket travel agency.
Yeah.
That's a good guess. They do look like maybe there'll be a couple and maybe they would take a trip. But Eric, what say you?
I think it's gonna be my most vanilla guess ever. I was gonna just say straight up headphones, but I think is it something like Japanese Spotify, or like what is the other one called?
It is.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
It was called DJ, right?
It is called. Let me play the commercial to the end here.
Canned coffee music.
Yeah, exactly.
This is it's called the D hits. D hits. Or
The hits.
I guess. I don't know. Something of that nature. Yeah, it's music app. I don't know if they're still around, but that's what it was. So good job, Eric.
Yeah.
And that was Eric. I think you always get like one guess, one correct per show. So you're on track now. Eric wins, flawless victory, writes Gabriel. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We should bring Gabriel on this show one time. That guy.
Why don't you invite him on?
He has a great podcast too. I would say the name of it, but I'm not familiar. But yeah, Gabe, you should come on sometime, bro.
Let's do it. I'll contact him today.
All right.
Okay, and let me cue this up properly. Okay, here we go. Next commercial, and right after this, starting now.
Mouse.
Mouse. What could this possibly be about? And I didn't get to Niko and Ed last time, but we still need to go to our guests first. So let's see. Mudit, what about you? What do you think?
Let's see. So whatever it is, it's called Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess that it's an app that's like a DoorDash or a Grubhub, a food delivery app.
Like for cheese, only for cheese.
Oh,
that's yeah. It is. You're in the right. Like it's in the IT space, but it is not an app. Dawn, what do you?
Oh, I think mine might be. Well, I saw that and I thought internet security antivirus. Like a mouse has a hole. They kind of live in walls. They get through stuff. This might be an antidote to that.
Getting warmer, you guys. You're getting warmer, but it's not antivirus. It is not antivirus, but you're getting warmer.
Pro virus?
What?
I said pro virus. Sorry, I was out of line there.
And probiotic. Jamie, what do you think?
Lingerie.
All right. Well, these are very lovely ladies, and they're
Can you tell I'm into Asian women? Is that am I being too?
We will have a commercial later on, perhaps, with some more lovely ladies for you. And let's see. So we didn't get to Niko last time. Niko, what do you think?
I think it's a technology device that's utilized to modify the current location of your cursor on your computer. I don't know why that seems like that might be an attachment, but it's a cursor movement for your computer, a physical one. Eats cheese.
Getting ever warmer, and you're super warm, getting warm. Gabriel writes, this is for kawaii models or idols, and then he writes rodent poison repellent. Poison. I think Niko's getting the closest so far. It is not a peripheral. I think if that's what you're referring to, it's not a peripheral. So
yeah, that's what I said.
Let's go to Ed, who works at a IT related company.
Who works at a mouse factory.
Oh man, this one's hard. Let's see. I will go.
I'm going to give you a hint.
It's an operating system for young children.
I'm going to give you a hint.
Yes.
It is not a peripheral, and it is super obvious.
Is it give you the ability to just move the cursor around with your finger on the screen?
I just said it's not a peripheral.
Well, that's not a peripheral.
Okay, well, it's not a user. It's not UI. It's not UI,
Okay.
But it's super obvious. Eric, what do you think?
Is it the actual device they're holding? Like, is that the mouse? Like, it's like a tablet, a laptop?
Laptop. It is the laptop.
no.
Wow.
First time in history that a fucking these commercials are about the thing.
It's
Yeah, for real. It's
Yeah.
I mean, my next guess was going to be something to make you grow ears out of the top of your head, but you know, I was getting desperate.
I was thinking they'd use the mouse ears to move the thing. They just like turn their head.
I was hoping it was like a Japanese reboot of the Mickey Mouse Club because that looks fire. I'd watch that.
I was wondering if Tokyo Disneyland was going to sue them.
Yeah.
It is what it says. It's Mouse is the name of the brand. I guess they thought, hey, we all use mice, so let's call it a mouse. So
It looks like it's for the goth version of Tokyo Disneyland.
Yeah. For real.
they do. Let me play the rest of their dancing.
Whoa.
Oh, now it's obvious. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
black cat being chased by the black cat. All right. Okay, we got some good commercials coming up here that.
Obaka's University, where they couldn't pay the marketing dollars that Obama wanted.
You know what Obaka University is? Japanese. It's stupid. This is the thing is I couldn't do something like this because it says Nishin right over here, and I know like Eric would figure that out right away.
I've been staring at that the whole time. I'm like, yep. I know.
If it's anything related to food in Japan, or especially like ramen,
Oh yeah, look, right there, dog. Yep.
Yeah. There's always a danger that Eric's gonna know what it is, so I have to avoid those types of products.
Why would you name your computer company Mouse?
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. In America, it'd be like lion. Like
exactly. All right.
That was the OS from Apple years ago. Like Snow Lion, Snow Leopard, all stuff.
Okay, here, wait a second. All right. Oops. Okay. Right after that, hold on a second. I'll tell you one more. Okay, starting now.
彩りキッチンでお料理忙しくても自分の時間を大事にしてほしいなやだハムなのに色目つけたわねいや使ってねえ
Very weird. Like a really weird commercial. Housewife is talking to some, I don't know what this guy is in a package. Dawn, what do you think?
I thought for some reason it was chocolate. And she seemed really excited, but I don't know why he'd be so disappointed because I think he'd be happy to offer her chocolate.
Yeah, you would think. But you're right as far as like it is definitely a food item, and so you're correct, and but it's not chocolate; it's some other thing. Jamie, what do you think?
So it's food?
Yes, it is food.
Oh. I was gonna say lingerie.
Edible lingerie.
Edible. I guess you
100 milligrams.
You could use. Okay, wait. I'm gonna give you an extra bonus thing here. Is it could be lingerie? I mean, why not, right?
Okay, I'm gonna seriously guess. I'm going to say that it is edamame.
Edamame. No, it is not edamame. It is.
Oh, come on. Can it be edamame? I love edamame.
Edamame are delicious. And Gabriel Nightfall writes, King's Table Buffet in Japan. King's Table Buffet. Well, this product could appear at buffets, I would think, especially like a breakfast buffet, maybe. I don't know if I'm revealing too much, or something like that. Mudit, did you get a guess yet? Mudit, your turn.
And is this just based on that image of the man?
Oh yeah, you can
Well,
run
I can go back to the package if you want. We do good replays here.
Would you like to see the man's package, Mudit?
Replays here. Let us replay it and stop right on the product.
彩りキッチンでお料理
Does that help you?
Yeah, for all the wrong reasons.
Circular. You could see that it's in a circle. So
maybe it's for holding like a rice cake or holding like origami, a food holder of sorts.
Well, food holder. No, this is the product. It's inside this circle, And as you can see from the number 4, there's 4 of them in there. So, Ed, what do you think?
Let's see. I was gonna guess like bologna or something like that, but I'll go with
bologna.
Yes, bologna.
What?
Why are there only 4 pieces of bologna?
Bologna.
Yeah.
The 4 had me going, what? No, that can't be.
Only bologna, you guys. It's the Japanese version of bologna. Let me play it through for you.
That's bologna.
Yeah. The answer was bologna. Oh, whoa, yeah.
For a minute there, I thought it was Japanese people addicted to the movie Frozen.
It's ham. It's what they call ham. It's not like our version of ham, like, where you eat for Easter dinner or something like that. They like ham where it's sort of, it's like bologna kind of packaged, and you can put it on, but they eat it. They don't have it on sandwiches as much. They just have it for breakfast, or I don't know, maybe Canadian bacon. I don't know if that's what another way would call it, but it's ham. There's this very famous Japanese company called Nippon Ham, or Japan Ham, and very popular. And Gabriel writes, looks good. It does look good. It does taste pretty good. They do eat ham in Japan. All right, we got one more commercial for you guys, and this one is a fun one, and I won't say more than ham.
Not that the other ones weren't balls of laughs.
This one I'm probably going to do in 2 phases because I don't think you're going to guess it off the bat. So we're going to try and do the first part.
If Tommy thinks it's hard, it's going to be.
This one's going to be.
Yeah.
But Jamie might like it.
Ooh.
Stopped it. I should have gone. I think I stopped it too late, but it's okay. What is this a commercial for? Any ideas, Jamie?
I'm going to say it is for shampoo.
It is not shampoo.
Wow, not liquid lingerie?
Well,
that should be a thing.
I mean, that would be a stupid guess.
Mudit, what is this commercial for?
I think it's organic, fat-free mayonnaise.
Oh, what?
Yeah. No way. Really?
It's not organic and fat-free, but it is mayonnaise, and I blew it. So I wasn't supposed to show this part, but because I thought, I thought there's no way someone's gonna say, "Oh, this is mayonnaise to put on food," because we typically we don't put it on potatoes, but that's exactly what she does, you guys. She essentially eats this mashed or this hot potato mayonnaise. But the way she does it is kind of funny. So let's watch.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interview question for me now.
Let's watch how they eat potatoes with mayonnaise in Japan. This is.
Oh no.
I eat French fries with mayonnaise, like steak fries.
Yeah.
Thank God that's not suggestive.
Wow.
It looks like a cupcake. And now I want that mayonnaise.
All right.
Yeah, for real, right?
Note to self.
You guys have to listen to
Got
this.
him to ban.
Wait, guys, do me a favor. Listen one more time, but this time listen to the sounds she makes. It's really quite funny. Just listen.
Well, dude, look how hot that thing is. It's like painful.
Doesn't it sound like
I'll have what she's having.
Doesn't it sound a bit? I mean, a bit.
It was like 200 degrees, and she's like eating with her bare hands. She's burning her mouth, dude. Yeah.
Well, that's Fahrenheit, and it's different in Celsius. They're okay.
It's also healing mayonnaise. It heals the burns on the inside of your mouth as you eat it.
I mean, you're not obviously you're not supposed to talk while your mouth is full. That's obviously a faux pas. But but the way that I don't know. There's something about that I thought that was really bizarre. In Japan, mayonnaise is like one of the sauces. Like how we eat ketchup. That's how they love mayonnaise. There's even a term for it. It's called mayo ora, like mayonnaise ora. Someone who's really into mayonnaise, who puts mayonnaise on everything. And Kewpie mayonnaise. I think they sell it at Walmart now because you can put it on anything. And Japanese people love mayonnaise.
So fry sauce like brings cultures together.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't like ketchup, but I do like mayonnaise, but only like best food. That's it. Like any other mayonnaise, I'm like, nah, dude. Best food.
Have you had Japanese mayonnaise?
I have not. No. Wait. Actually, Japanese mayonnaise. Put it on the salads, right? They put it on the salads.
On salad, on anything. It's
yeah. I think I have had it. Yeah.
It's really delicious. It's not really great. I don't know. It's just different. You just have to try it. Kewpie mayonnaise. Get yourself some Kewpie mayonnaise.
Be a sponsor.
Yeah. Work on it, Eric.
I will.
Work on it next week.
So,
got you.
If you're watching and you want to come on our show next Friday, just make a comment and I'll recruit you. And anybody else have any other things they want to promote before we sign off here? Ed or Jamie, Niko, Dawn?
Yeah, I got something. I'm doing Dante Burrett's Dark Brew comedy show tomorrow. He was on that's where I met him actually, on this show. So yeah, I think that's tomorrow, 7 p.m. on Facebook. The set I have is gonna be quite funny, guys. If you guys have the time, I'm sure everybody's gonna be great. Yeah. Facebook Live tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. I got a couple of Zoom shows tomorrow. Whatever time you're not watching Eric, then watch me and all these other wonderful people. Might have some shows too. But yeah, doing some fun Zoom shows. Birdcage, this thing out of Arizona, and then anyway, go to my nice stuff, laughlylukoff.com. I'll say stupid things on a mic.
All right, well, it's confirmed Gabriel will be on the show next week. He's already
yeah.
So next week we'll have Gabriel. We'll have I believe we're gonna have Joe Gorman next week, you guys. Joe Gorman's coming on.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
Moody, I wanted to ask you about Joe.
Niko,
I wanted to ask you about Joe. In real life, is he talk that fast, like stream of conscious, like nonstop, like when you met him in real life?
Joe Gorman, I don't know. I've never met him.
He's asking Mudit.
Yeah, no. It's funny you ask. I wasn't able to see him perform live because like I got to the mic late, but I was able to catch up with him after. So I actually don't know the answer to that just yet, but I'm sure I'll find out soon.
Right on.
And Niko, we'll have Olga Iranova is her name next week.
Oh yeah, she's great. From Russia.
Niko set that up.
Yeah.
Oh, Niko, I can't hear you now for some
reason. That's because the mic was off. Yeah, she's the real deal. She's hilarious. She's in Russia. She's in a place where you're not supposed to do this, and she does, and she brings it.
Some great movies next week. So check that out. That's gonna be next Friday at 5 p.m. And again, thanks to Dawn and Mudit and Jamie for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great show, you guys. We will see you next Friday. The 21st at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Guys, thanks for the show. Ed, I think you know how to take us out. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
I love that.
Night. Thanks, everybody.
Good night. All right.